Hello, first graders. I'm glad you came for a reading lesson today. For today's lesson, you will need a book, either on Epic or one that you can find in your home. And I'm going to ask a special favor that you make sure it is a fantasy story, because today we are talking about how a fantasy story is something that could never happen in real life. Think about some of the stories you already know. Doesn't even have to be a book. It could be a movie or a show that you watch on TV. There are lots of fantasy stories that could never happen, and I know I enjoy some of them. If you go to the sharing slide today, you will find a read aloud for Two Eggs, Please, La Isla, and Can I Bring Wooly to the Library, Ms. Reader? So if you want, you can go back and look at those stories either before or after we're done with the lesson. Let's get started. Here's the slide we are filling out today. And our first story is Two Eggs, Please. So I'm going to read a couple of pages of this story, and I want you to notice something about the characters in the story. Are they the same or different from animals in real life? And how are they different? Let's read. Two eggs, please. Two eggs, please. How are these animals the same? And how are they different from real animals? What'll it be? Two eggs, please. Sunny side up. Two eggs, please. Over easy. What are you noticing about these animals? So this story is fantasy. It could not happen in real life. Animals don't talk, they don't wear clothes, and they don't order eggs at a restaurant. That makes it really funny to read though, doesn't it? What do you think? Let's go to the next book. This one is La Isla. We'll go here to this page. We fly over forests, fields, and tiny towns to visit Tio Fernando, Tio Isabella, and my cousin Elena. Even though we're up high, they see us and wave. We fly to the busy old city, zooming between colored buildings and over blue brick streets. Wait a minute. Can people really fly? Could this story happen in real life? Probably not, because even though we do fly in machines like helicopters and airplanes, or sometimes we fly on gliders, we can't just pick up and fly like Superman. This one's definitely a fantasy story. Let's look at the last one. Can I bring Wooly to the library, Ms. Reader? I'll read you this whole page. If I brought Wooly to the library and Cuddly Teddy wasn't in the reading corner because several of his seams had split open, probably from all the hugs he gets, and he was in the toy shop being repaired, Wooly could take his place. Wooly is very cuddly. Then the little kids would still have plenty of places to sit and someone who'd listen to them read aloud. Wooly loves listening to little kids read. Miss Page in Literacy Services says being read to will help Wooly with his reading too. What do you think? Could this story happen in real life? Probably not, since woolly mammoths are extinct, and they're animals who wouldn't be able to write their names, and they probably wouldn't even fit into the library. Okay, first graders. Your turn. Go find a fantasy story somewhere in your home or on Epic. It even could be a part of a fantasy story. One of my favorite fantasy stories is Lord of the Rings. and that one's definitely fantasy. So if you have a long book or a chapter book, you could just talk about a part of that fantasy book. Go to the Seesaw slide and enter your responses. I cannot wait to see what books you've read and to see what your thoughts are on them. Thanks for coming, first graders.